General Dole has a LinkedIn profile. So I kid you not, I'm connected with some of these guys at Theta. I think they think I work there, and they're just so in the early stages, I think people thought that I was a worker. I haven't really gone in there, and I couldn't tell you the names, but there are some heavy-hitted guys. I think Wes and some other guys connected with it.
Papa's popping and locking, Magnum scrutinizing, Papa Mac's podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to week 11 of the Papa Mags Pinecast. Mags, it is now 66 days into a few weeks before we're allowed to take our NFTs off Theta. I'm just going to keep on counting.
I got nothing to say. I'm speechless. You know, they really had me on that delayed AMA, the double delayed AMA. But
well, I think I'm going to have to put it up. I'm going to have to put my hat back on. I don't think there's any way around it.
You should. You absolutely should.
Well, last week we had NEC on, and it's funny, leading into our episode, he had a very good thought, which was basically, people shouldn't be bashing other projects on Theta, right? If you're big into Pines and it's your only one, what's the point of bashing Passaways? What's the point of bashing Imaginary Friends or Tigons or whatever else, Like, what's good for one is good for the entirety of the community. But what about when someone starts bashing their own project that they're in? What do you think about that?
I think, it's a good question. It's an interesting question. I think, yes, there is. I don't agree with the bashing your own project. I mean, if I can maybe see where you're going with this. Or
sure.
Maybe
well, it just so happened that over the course of this past week, there was a few individuals. I mean, I can understand that there's a lot of people that are getting a little bit antsy about pineapples and Secret Pineapple Society and, wanting to get an update. And there's just, we're waiting with bated breath on some kind of news, and we're not really getting anything right now. And, I'm human. I can get a little antsy myself, but I have an overall understanding and an overall comfort with where this thing is going and who's in charge and who's leading it. But there was some that, were airing some dirty laundry on the SPS Discord. And I mean, I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think everyone has the right to their opinion and
sure,
to air maybe some reservations or whatever that they have. But I mean, what happened on the SPS Discord was just disgusting. And it sucked to see for someone who's huge in it to like me. And there's a lot of people that own them. Go on theaterdropbirdie.com and you'll see how many individual, wallets have at least one of them. So there's a lot of people, and nobody promised. I mean, if you invested in the pineapples, you either did it because you liked the art or hoping it was going to go somewhere. I would love to, like you said, you've talked about before, and sometimes you get a little passive aggressive about it. But yeah, we would love to see updates. Rare Robot doesn't operate like an Ivory, and sometimes I guess hard for some people to see other projects succeed and then just waiting at the portal. And some Pines are getting a little upset about it and just, airing it out there instead of, some kind of conversation. And I think they might have had side conversations, but it seemed like that was just it. And if I recall, it was from one of the mods.
Yeah, it was. And, my whole point of this thing is if I'm in a project and it's not going the way I want it to go, then guess what? I'm just going to sell and I'm going to get out. All right. And I don't find the need to just go bashing and abusing my position, especially as a mod. I just don't see why that's necessary. I've been in a few projects where it's like, you get in, you think it's one thing, it turns out that it's not what you thought, and I quietly leave. No one out there could even, I bet you no one could even guess what that project is, because guess what? I'm not out there. Nah, I was never, I did put my BitBoys up for sale though. I'm getting rid of them. All-time lows. T-Fuel only though, guys.
Yeah. But did you see what Rare Robot put out though?
Yeah, I did. That was right after this, actually.
This was right after this, and it wasn't a whole lot of information because that's not how he operates. You know, I'd like him to operate differently, but I like a lot of people to do things and it doesn't happen. I'd like for me to wake up on time. It doesn't happen. But so basically he said that do you want me to just read it?
Yeah, would you?
Yeah, so he was at his Airbnb in Naples, and there was some pineapples on the wall, and he says, just discovered a wonderful surprise. And also more formal news at Secret Pineapple, coming on development of our official Pineapple Metaverse, hashtag Secret Pineapple Society, hashtag NFT community. So,
right.
I mean, there's work going on.
Right. And then who thinks that this is like something that can be done overnight? You know, this is serious work that needs to be done to get to the point where he's ready to unveil it. I mean, the only thing that I can kind of, you know, say we had the opportunity to go to Chef Pine's restaurant, right? I'm going to order my dinner, and then I'm going to let Chef Pine go back there and make my dinner. And I don't need to know how much salt he's putting in. I don't need to know what, you know,
how
what
much
part of the
pineapple
process
he's put on the pizza.
You get out of here. You don't do that. He's smarter. But I don't need to know where he is, you know, making the sausage or whatever. You know, it's like I'm gonna sit down and order. I have an expectation of what dinner's gonna be when it hits the table, and when it hits the table, I'm gonna eat. You know, same thing here.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. Like I can stick my head up the butcher's ass, but wouldn't you rather have the cows? You know.
You get a good look at a T-bone steak.
Yeah, if I stick my head up the butcher's ass, but wouldn't you
bulls,
rather have the cow?
Not the butchers.
It's got to be your right. It's got to be your bull. Yeah,
Tommy, that's right. Well, speaking of passive aggressiveness, I saw that someone else had a little heat they were letting off earlier today. What was that about?
Oh, you talking about a few hours before we were recording?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if it was heat. Now, so basically, Theta Drop put out a tweet, and they said that you should turn on alerts for Theta Drop because gold and silvers are going to be getting these like surprise drops coming up from like starting tomorrow to August 3rd or something. I don't know.
What about bronze?
Nothing for bronze. And
nothing for 50,000 T-drop?
Not a damn thing. So maybe I was a little passive aggressive, and I said, so I retweeted them and I said, or as the kids say, bronze or non-VIP status, ignore this at Theta Drop post, smash that disable notification button and leave a thumbs down in the comments below.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little passive aggressive, but you know what I've learned is humans, and a fair majority of the people listening to this Pinecast are humans. We're all hypocrites at some level. And I learned this for example, like I learned this at a younger age when I was down in Arlington, Virginia, and I would get really upset at bikers on the road. And then when I decided to ride a bike into work, because I figured I was going to die in the car just as easy as a bike, that I might as well get some exercise, I guess, if I'm going into work, versus because the time difference really wasn't that big of a deal. But what I learned as a biker, and what kind of upset some of the drivers are, bikers will argue that they are, they're in the road, they're in the lane too. Except when everyone else is stopped, then they follow pedestrian rules. So they kind of pick and choose what rules they want to follow when they want to follow them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hated it when I was a driver. When I was on the bike, like, hey, effer, you follow those rules. So I guess that's kind of like my take is I would love it if I was a silver or gold for sure. But you know what? I thought when I tweeted this, I think I'm going to take T-drop off of Theta Drop because it just doesn't seem like it matters. The bronze, like we've mentioned before, HGH, his bronze drop, that one's holding pretty good still, I would say. But
yeah, definitely
for the majority of them aren't. So I can't see the benefit. I bought, you're joking like Theta he moved his off the other day for his silver, so he missed Gary, the silver Gary from IFC. Yep. But I bought mine for like $10, and like it's even lower than that now. So like it seems like maybe staking the rewards might be better, and I'm gonna roll the dice with that. So,
Well, the only thing you're going to miss out really is the T Fuel only selling option, which
but
I enjoy.
I thought of this. I thought of this too.
Okay.
I didn't tell you this part. Yeah, so I figure I'm just gonna list stuff really high, and then someone can put an offer in, and then I'll play with the offer because and here's the other issue is
It's foolproof.
well, the other issue too is like, yeah, I'm a bronze, but you know, if I have cash, I can't buy stuff most of the time anyway because it's TFU only. So what does it matter? So I'll just put it really high. If somebody wants to buy it or offer something, then I'll look at the T-Fuel. So ipso facto, you're going to get a T-Fuel only option by doing that. What do you think about that?
Good luck to you.
Really?
I don't know. We'll see.
You loving these bronze rewards?
No, I'm not loving the rewards. I don't think that the bronze airdrops, they're just kind of like clunking up my my wallet over here for the most part. But I do like the T Fuel only selling option. I do like that. For that reason, I will stay bronze.
Do you do much? Do you do much selling?
No, not too much, but I have.
Okay,
I did a bit of a yard sale today, just going through and getting out the junkers. BitBoy gone. $2 on T Fuel, just like, purposefully all-time low sales and still not moving. Nobody wants it, rightfully so.
Right.
But yeah, no, just I don't do that much selling, but when I do, it is nice to just get that T Fuel option. So I'll keep it for now. I'm not worried about missing a little bit of rewards with T Drop where it is.
You're gonna look quite the fool when the those knights in the cars go against BitBoy in the Bitmobile. That I actually probably would want to see that.
Well, speaking of knights, did you happen to see the challenge that came out this week for the knights?
No, I didn't.
I'm not sure exactly what you needed, but I noticed that there was 3 of them, and they offered up the winners earned tickets. So it's what the Knights are sponsoring this. So what kind of tickets to a live event do you think that this would be for the giveaway?
I don't know.
Well, you know what the Knights are, right? It's the e-gaming, right?
Right. It's the e-gaming, right? Like they're Pittsburgh.
Right. The Pittsburgh Golden Knights.
Pittsburgh Golden Knights.
I mean, you would think that if they were going to do some kind of live event, I'd be, I know that they do like tournaments, like gaming tournaments, maybe a free entry to a gaming tournament, something like that. No, that's not what it was. It was a pair of tickets to a race in Indianapolis. And guess when the race is? Is
it a foot race or a car race?
A car race. A Saturday and Sunday. Live event, and guess when the event is?
I don't know.
This weekend.
That's a little soon.
This thing came out like Monday. Here, like who in the world? So my question was, this is like targeted to Theta Drop users in Indianapolis, basically. So who's going to do it?
Yeah, this weekend.
This weekend, yes.
So you're saying by the time people hear this
it's already over.
Race would have already
over. Yes. Yes.
Who are the ad wizards that came up with that one?
I am not sure, but we need Wiz on here right now to explain this. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you were saying you're praising even though we didn't get into it, The Price is Right. The Price is Right, Fail Army, they've been doing some advertisement and they've been dropping like the challenges kind of ahead of time and you said this one you didn't know a thing about it.
Right.
And now you're saying that there's a race this weekend.
Right. Yeah. Oh, here's the challenge. Oh, I just won a challenge. What is it? Oh, it's tickets to a race in Indianapolis this weekend. And here's the follow-up to the story. Somebody bought the tickets. What? Somebody bought them. So whoever won the challenge, they were selling them. Somebody bought them. And guess where they live?
Where?
Indianapolis. They live in Indianapolis. So they basically found the one person that would have been able to use these tickets, and he was able to secure them.
How many tickets was there?
I know he got 2 sets of 2. There was 3 sets of 2 total.
So that challenge was like a first come, first serve?
It was, yeah, I don't know what you needed. It just all of a sudden they're on there, and I was taking a look. I started looking. I was like, man, I wonder what this is for. And I'm like Googling. I can't figure. I'm like, I have no idea what possibly I'm like Golden Knights, Indianapolis, because it said Indy Road Race or something like that. So I'm like, that's kind of a weird name for an online game, but I'm trying to like Google the Golden Knights with the Indy Road Race, and nothing's coming up. Nothing's on the Pittsburgh Golden Knights website. There's just nothing. I'm like, what could this possibly be? I asked Theta Zilla Club, and he sends me a link to like the actual race. I was like, this can't be it. Why? I was like, why would this be it? It's a rate, like Pittsburgh Golden Knights are giving away tickets to a race in Indianapolis. Like that's happening this weekend. This can't be it. Tell me this isn't what I'm. So, but wow.
No.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, like mentioned before previously, I'm not a car fan. That wouldn't do anything for me. I don't live near there, so I would be completely out of it. But
I mean,
so I don't know if this is a chicken and egg thing. Like, did they basically say, "Hey, we're getting criticism because we're not doing anything with this. Hey, let's come up with this challenge for this weekend."
Yeah, I have no idea. The first drop that they had.
Why would you not have that out? Why would you not have that out before, because what was it, like a week or so before they put that the drop was happening soon?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, why wouldn't you put
that out? They could have the challenge out then. Yeah.
That just makes me think that they didn't know, and they go, hey, maybe somebody bought tickets and they go, oh, let's come up with this challenge. I don't know.
Yeah, or somebody gave them tickets. It's more like it. Oh, we got these tickets. We can't use them. Let's just give them away.
Right.
I don't know. But listen, if there's somebody from the Pittsburgh Golden Knights listening to this, you guys, reach out to us. We can help you. Like this is, I mean, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but I'll tell you right now, it wasn't. Like, you had one person in the whole probably Theta drop that could get the tickets, and you're very lucky that he was able to do that. So yeah, I don't know. That was very strange. But I had another question for you.
Okay.
Did you get your zombie yet?
No, of course not.
No?
How could I have?
How could you not have a zombie yet? I don't understand what's taking so long.
You don't have a zombie. You don't have a silver skull.
It's okay though. That's okay. We need to get you a zombie. Magnum needs a zombie. I think all of this, going back to the stress within the SPS community, I think that would all go away if Magnum got a zombie. Guys, what do you think?
I think it would probably restore a bit of civility and peace, throughout the SPS fam.
I believe so.
Yeah. Especially with a T-fuel pin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I did notice that one of your trends has kind of kicked in a little bit, and now we got Aragorn over here making up his own challenges. I saw that he had a nice little offer out on, it was like a color camo face with the pipe, I believe, right? That was the pipe one?
Oh, is that the one with the color and the cross earring, maybe?
Yeah, and you're smoking the pipe. And
sure.
It's funny. I congratulate him on it. It was a nice grab. And he's like, "Oh, I just completed the high as a kite challenge." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." Here we go. And then I was like, I wonder if Magnum's got that one. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got that one."
I definitely have that one.
But I didn't see anything official on Twitter that you had that one. So I don't know that it counts.
I could put on there. I also was like so many people do. I was in Baller's Wallet the other day, checking that out.
Jumping around.
You go in Baller's Wallet, you're gonna get lost quick.
You can spend hours. It's like one of those. It's like one of those corn mazes.
But I was checking out his pines, and he's got like 106 of them or something. Last I checked, and he has 5 samurai helmets pines.
Wow! All the different colors.
He has 3 of all the colors. He's one off from having it twice. So. Oof. That guy's got the samurai helmet challenge without even knowing. Which one is he missing?
Which one is he missing?
He has them all. Oh, I believe green. I think he's got 2 blues, 2 reds, and 1 green, I think. But I could be wrong.
That's unacceptable, Baller.
Yeah.
The green needs a friend.
Yeah, he should complete that challenge post haste. But Did you see that other epic challenge I completed this week?
Nope, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bullshit. You saw it. You
I don't
saw it.
think this one's unofficial. At best, there was never official. We were talking last week, and it wasn't an official Twitter poll. So I think the result.
No, I deferred to that to you. It doesn't have to say official.
But I deferred back. I double deferred. So that cancels, and
you can't because then you just previously in this episode, if we go back to it, you said that chef would not put pineapple on a pizza. So
that's a fact.
It seems like you're redoubling down on your affirmative position.
No, but that didn't have anything to do with the poll. That was just his tweet. So that that's a little different. And we're talking polls here.
So completed the 7-0 the 7-0 Pine Madness challenge. Magnum, your boy, was the only Pine to go 7 wins, 0 losses in Pine Madness, and he won the belts. Magnum, if you're out there, big props to you. That's truly an amazing accomplishment.
Yes, it was. Just especially as such a young pineapple too at the time.
Right. Yeah. Not
even
quickly.
Ripe. Still not ripe.
Still not. No.
Well, speaking of challenges, I know by the time this comes out, we're going to be into a season of some really fun challenges for symbiotes, man. I can't wait to see what comes dropping in the coming months. Very exciting. It's been an exciting week there. A lot of people joining up and getting their eyes open to what's going on there. So it's been a lot of fun.
The Discord. So mentioned on the last few episodes that the Symbies do all their business on the Discord. I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Simple. Basically said they and I could be wrong. Could have been someone else. Said that they went from 400 to 453 within a week or something.
Yeah. That's this week. Yeah. They were just flocking in. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of new heads in there. People figuring out what's going on, and just time to really enjoy these next couple months, because it's crazy. The timeline that we got here for Symbiotes is just it takes us an incredible run right up all the way to ThetaCon. I mean, and then by the time ThetaCon and everything happens at the end of the year, it's just going to boil right over. It's going to be January before we know it. Also,
isn't it Mainnet 4 supposed to come when that
ends? Mainnet 4 is supposed to be December 1st. I'm not sure if they said 2022 though, because a few weeks. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be right there before ThetaCon starts. And yeah, this season of VROA airdrops is going to end on November 30th. I mean, it's a 4-month process, dude. It's crazy. It's going to be so much fun.
Can you just explain this VROA process?
Well, the process is you need to be connected to Discord, which is something that we've been screaming to everybody for weeks now. So I don't feel too bad if you're just now hearing this and you're too late. So sorry, not sorry. But you need to be connected to Discord, and you need to have, there's 8 different VROAs, and they each have their own recipe. And if you hold the recipe for the VROA by holding certain NFTs that you need from the original drop, then you become eligible for that VROA snapshot August 1st. Well, call it July 31st, August 1st. And then from that point on, you need to hold those NFTs in your wallet.
And not list them, right?
And not list them. They can't be listed for sale. And there's a bot that checks daily, does sweeps. And if you continue to be eligible for those VROAs for the entire length of the redemption process, then you earn them. And they are staggered, and they are staggered by a lot. So the first one is only 2 weeks long. And then it's August 15th, August 31st, September 15th, September 30th, October 15th, October 31st, and then wraps up November 15th and November 30th. So the last roll.
That also coincides with the token drops, right?
Well, yeah, there's also the raffle giveaways on those same days, but those days are just the days of the snapshot for when the period ends. The actual airdrop for the NFT will probably be the next day or the day after. in conjunction with Data Drop whenever they're available to do it. They're basically going to get the information, who gets what, and they drop it into the accounts. So so some of these you got to hold them for 4 months, so we'll see how it goes. I've never been a part of anything like it, and it seems like people are really digging it. So I'm looking forward to it.
You had a post about pineapples a long time ago about the floor being lava. The floor in the Symbies Data Drop is just it is hot, and it's just going up. There's going to be, it's just amazing how many airdrops and challenges, whatever they've had, and it just seems like the quantity goes down, which is like counterintuitive, because like Passaways, Pines, and others, and maybe Tigons or whatever, they'll get badges and they'll get whatever. So like if you look at the quantity of available like pine cans and stuff like that, seems like it's always going up. But the Symbies, they just keep dropping all this stuff, and everyone just keeps,
it's just being held.
They just be held and scooped up.
I was looking at it. I think there's over 6,000 NFTs in the project, between the original drop, the animateds, and all of like the T-verse tokens, and then the airdrops as well. There's over 6,000 total. I think there's like 300 listed for sale out of all of them. 300. And now look at like Pines and Passaways and Tigons. It's like, the percentages, it's not even close. Like everything about this project is being held. And it's like, you got guys in there that they're just holding, and it's wild. It's crazy.
I like how Ivory and the team has run their challenges, and this whole thing is crazy. We've talked about it before, but I mentioned this to you a few weeks ago, or maybe a week or so ago. So things could happen quick if like a new challenge came out with Pines or something. Depending on what it would be, it could kind of change the market a bit.
Oh yeah,
because the Passaways did something very interesting, which I was telling you about. Was so they've had a few of these Doom challenges.
Yeah,
and some of them have been easier than others. And what happened was, I think the past couple of them, the actual token that you got also locked up for a month. So the token you needed for the challenge, like a Passaway, and the token you earned, everything got locked up for a month. So the demand I think I saw a Doom token, a Doom go for like $100 or something today.
Oh wow!
And because the people that are in them want them. So unless you had one and you don't want to do any others, like you're not gonna be able to get the tokens, because when they did the eggs, like those Easter eggs, Passaways, you could use them. I mean, you may need them for the challenge, but the challenges didn't last a month. I don't believe, and you could sell them right away. So anyways, interesting thing to kind of it seems like it's helping with at least the floor for the Dooms anyway. Because that's just going up, and so it's interesting to have what you receive get locked up too. So I kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just kind of a little bit back to what you were saying when you started this, it's not going to take much for Pines to just get into a frenzy, is my opinion. Because right now you've had, a major distribution to diamond holders, in my opinion. You got big time guys that just are continuing to scoop and put them away, pack them away. A lot of the paper hands have gotten out. A lot of the the whiners that are complaining, they're out. They still feel the need to whine for some reason, but whatever. But
Sugar baby.
You got a lot. Yeah, and there's plenty of others too. Sure. Just look at Twitter. I mean, you got other people chiming in, not naming names, that were given a pineapple for free, sold the pineapple,
a custom.
Custom, and there's others too. So this one was not a custom, but this was like like Ivory Jones got. It was a generative, but it was like a banging one that was.
It was from the first 200, right?
Right, given to other people that were part of different projects within Theta Drop, who then sold that, have no position in pineapples, but still feel the need to spout off about it. So it's like, I just don't get that at all. And it really bothers me. But it's not going to take much to get Pines just a flurry of like what we're seeing in Symbiotes. We'll see that in Pines. I have no doubt about it.
And just for clarification, like two things. One thing too, like if you notice a lot of the nicer attribute pines, now don't get me wrong, there's some nice pines out there, but a lot of them are just held with diamond hands. So they, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're not, some of these cooler ones aren't as readily available because the people that bought them or what, nobody, they're not selling them. So it seems like it's less rarer pines that are out available right now for purchase. One. And then like there's a bunch of other things, but the other thing was I was going to say is, so we made jokes about it when it was going on, but so there was this one pine, Tyler Durden, a while ago, and he fire sold all his pines, like great pines, like
he had a lot of good ones,
beautiful pines. But he was in a different situation where he wanted to get on something else, and he loved pines, and he told us he loved them, but he really wanted to get into this other thing, and he needed the liquidity to move. So he was fire selling. So that kind of drove the market down, which was a good buying opportunity for everyone. But it wasn't. It was. Yeah, I wish you guys luck, and I've got something going on. So like, someone's given a pine, maybe they did the work, and getting a pine is almost like not for like SPS not having to pay. So the person sells, they make money, which then SPS and Theta Drop, they make whatever from their 10% cut right of it. So like, they're kind of making from that too. But so there's a difference between taking your shots on the way out or when you're already out versus like, no, I got nothing against this project, and I like this project, but I need the money for my family, job issues, medical issues, whatever. Like, or you just want to do something else with your life. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine.
Right. Yeah. And even if it's not, I'd really like this project. It's just, okay, just sell and get out, and that's it. Like, there's no need to say anything. It's just, this is your money. You've invested, or if you've been given a pine, it's still your pine. It's your money. You've been given it. Whatever you have, you've either earned it or you've been given it, or whatever it is, it's yours. You're able to do whatever it is that you want to do with it. But I draw the line at tearing down the project on the way out or while you're still. So I'm just not going to sit around and listen to that.
And maybe it's mean of me, but I really want to see pines and these other projects that people have bashed. I want to see them all kill it and be like, oh man, I got, it's like you not taking Bitcoin at 600. Like, oh man, I should have listened. I should have listened to Magnum and got and taken that Bitcoin when it was 600. But that's a good lesson to learn. Like, yes, 9 months is a long time. I don't know if that's how long the pine's been out, but it's also not a long time, right? Like it's both.
Right. It's a long time to not really have communication, but it is not a long time to not have a production environment. I mean, those are two different things.
Yeah.
So it is. So yes and no. I agree.
Right.
With you.
Yeah. For once. Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe one other time I agreed with you about the ice cream flavors.
Right. Shout out to Stewards.
But that just annoys me if you couldn't tell. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad you aired that out for everyone else to hear.
Yeah. Yep. So got that off my chest. I think that was a good time as always, Mags. I know we got a fun time coming up. We got a polarizing guest joining us this week, the one and only General Dole, coming up next.
After these messages.
This week's episode is brought to you by Mega's Mutant Pine Derivatives, the perfect mutated addition to your NFT collection. Mega will take your pine and make it shine. Check out some of his creations on Twitter at MegVdev. That's at MEGVDEVTH. Tell him Poppin' Mag sent you. This week's episode is brought to you by Theta Pendants. Find the perfect gift for yourself or the NFT lover in your life. Choose from a wide variety of available options or inquire about a custom print. Each pendant is made of stainless steel and is shipped with tracking information. You can find them on Twitter at PendantsTheta. If you have a product you would like to exposure for, then promote it on Pops and Mags Pinecast.
Papa Mags, yeah. Papa Mags. Papa Max Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we bring to you an SPS legend. Normally, I don't like to speak in generalities, but tonight is an exception. Our guest is probably the most decorated pine in all of the Secret Pineapple Society. If you haven't gleaned the name of our guest yet, despite this episode's title referring to him, or picked up on any of the clues I've sprinkled thus far, I'll give you one more clue. While some people make their living with liquidity pools, this guy actually makes real pools. I'm referring to none other than General Dole. General, how you doing? Welcome to the
What's
podcast.
up? What's going on, boys? And I almost broke out laughing as you were introducing me. A legend, not, but anyhow, that's cool. But
Your epaulets disagree,
Nice.
but
well, hey, I think we're all part of this great journey, and I'm pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me.
Magnum actually appreciates it when you laugh at his jokes while he's telling them. So just
I'm like, fuck, it's the intro. I can't start crashing his intro. I was like, all
no,
right.
it would have been. It's funny because sometimes when I'm doing that and it's silent, I feel like, oh man, this is tanking.
No,
So,
I was like,
yeah.
I was trying to not to, I was literally biting my hand not to laugh. So.
All right, well, everyone, just imagine that they actually laughed during that. But yeah, we're so glad to have you. I've been looking forward to this since we started this. You were definitely on the top of our list to get on.
I appreciate you having me, and I hope that you don't want me to delete my account after this talk. You know, as you see, or sometimes you don't see, sometimes I'm involved in Twitter a lot, and sometimes not as much because of my business is so driven by customer demand in the summer. So I missed your first couple of podcasts, and as I'm catching up, I'm like, dude, I need to catch these out. I love to just listen and meet everybody. And then when you said, oh, we'd love to have you on, I was like, heck yeah. But I made it a point not to listen to any of them because I didn't want to be predetermined on how things go. I just wanted to be natural and it to be me. So you guys, I have not heard any of them yet, but after tonight's call, I'll definitely take a peek at your past shows.
Cool. Well, we hope you enjoy them for sure. It's definitely cool to get to know some of the community members and even some of the different projects that are building and using the Theta technology. So
absolutely.
So, General, how did you get into Theta? Like, what's your story of crypto and entering into Theta and then ending up with a bunch of pineapples?
Absolutely. Well, thanks for asking. I'm sure we each have our own, and mine is probably not far too different. I'll give you some backstory. And so I'm a fellow New Yorker from Long Island, lived my whole life until 2005, and moved down to Texas. So call Texas my home now. I'm an avid hockey fan and a player. So played all my life through college and after, and I'm still playing men's hockey. So we're in the parking lot in the locker room just bullshitting about crypto. I'm like, what the fuck's crypto? Like, and, you just hear all this stuff. I'm like, shit, man, I need to get in on this. So a buddy of mine was heavily in, just Theta. And I'm like, all right, I'm getting some Theta. And then, so I picked up Theta. I think it was like a February. It was like maybe $1.90 something in that $2 range. So I picked up the Theta, from the advice from my hockey guys, dabbled in it. And then I'm sitting here, I'm like, look, what's this T-Fuel? Like this, so I'm like, all right, let's now get some T-Fuel. So T-Fuel was like 9 cents, then it fucking went crazy. I'm like, fuck, I just missed the boat on this T-Fuel thing. But I'm like, you know what? Just got to jump in. So, grab T-Fuel and, I'm sitting there and I watched it go up like we all did. And then I watched it come down a bit. I'm like, fuck, it's going down. It's hanging around in the 30s for a long time. And I picked up my first NFT was through Theta. So I didn't really know anything about the NFTs. But I wanted to support the Theta project. So I go in there and I bought this ThetaZilla. And I'm like, you know what? I had $100 in the account. I think they were like $3 at the time. So I bought, I bing, bing, bing. I just, you know what? Let me just see where this goes. So next week, I'm like, holy shit, someone bought one for $80. And so I'm telling my buddy at hockey, he's like, dude, you should sell them all. I'm like, oh, you never know where they're going to go, I guess now. So anyway, made the money back on the ThetaZillas, and so then the next project comes out. That cell phone that had the logo on it.
Oh,
it looked really cool.
the hints
Yeah,
project.
I think that was the
Yeah.
second one. So I jumped into that, and so I just kind of got into the support. Hey, I'm going to support all these artists, not knowing how crazy it was soon to come. Then I started, just jumping on Twitter a little bit. I had an account. The name back then was Buy Theta. I was just trying to support Theta, and then I see these pineapples, and I'm like, oh, these are cool. And I messaged, the artist and with James, and reply back. I'm like, hey, these are really cool. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get on Theta. It's like, oh, wish you luck. And that's how the dialogue started with Rare Robot. And I was like, man, these things would be badass. I would love to see them come here. Then they did, and everyone's got the hype came up. Go to get my pineapple. I'm like, strike out. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't even get one, and it's just like everybody else.
Same here.
And then there was someone that I'm like, how did this guy have 10 of them? Like, I just want one, for freak's sake. So I bought a canister. I think I spent $1,000 at the time. I can't remember, but something like that.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting one, and I remember my wife was sleeping, and I was like, I went to the bathroom. I was so excited. I'm like, I got to open this thing. And boom, I opened it. I'm like, I don't even know what I got, but I was so excited just to open this thing. And I had a logo. And at that point, you didn't know what you had. And it was as a floor pine as you can get, but I couldn't care. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what a floor pine was. But anyway,
Max does.
super happy. So the next week comes. I'm like, oh, I'm getting my loot ready. So now I'm like, shit, I got this T fuel. And you know what? I got 50,000 T fuel. Let me just fuck it. Let's just throw it into pines. You have a feeling. So I threw it in there, and then I just boom, I got one. My buddy got one. My daughter got one. I was like, man, I was like, hey, you need to get one of these. So hooked her up, separate. She has her own little Theta account. So, and then I'm sitting there, I'm at a traffic light, and I was happy. I was on my way to appointment, and then I saw there was some more available, and I literally jumped the curb, went into this church parking lot, trashed these bushes. People are honking at me, flipping me off. Like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, I had to hit buy. I tried to buy as many as I could. I think I got 4 or 5. So I ended up on the second run. I think it was November 19th, because it was just a fun week, so you don't really remember, you don't forget those times.
Yeah,
I picked some extra cans up, and then it just was like freaking a shark frenzy. Like that first night, like, buy, sell. Like, if it was on there for a second, if it looked good, someone else already bought it. So it was like a eating frenzy, and it was fun. And at that point, I'm like, you don't know what's more rare, but I went to the chart. I'm like, okay, there's only 3 of these. There's 50 of these. I'm like, this has to be more rare. So I was just, as they came up in the market, I was writing down shotgun, laser eyes, whatever, not knowing what a custom was at that time. So then I was just kind of picking some stuff up, and I sold some stuff and just had some fun with it. And unfortunately, I had to go on vacation on a cruise with my family. And I
hate when that happens.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, I need to get this internet package. So and this is how I got on the Twitter, because I have ADHD. I cannot sit still. I cannot stand just sitting there in the sun. And my wife's like, oh, this is fun. I'm like, no, it's not. I got on Twitter, so then that night I got the package, and I sold a couple here and there. And I went shopping, and I was like, oh, this is badass. And that's when I bought General Dole. And that night on the cruise, I made the General Dole character, and I was so freaking bored. I was tweeting nonstop, like, because I was just having fun with it. And I was like, you know what? I want to promote Theta, and I want to promote these guys. And my only way was just to get out there and just try to make some noise and tag, just, I'm a business owner. I'm like, just tagging shit to just try to get in other people's tweets. Whatever it was, I was like, tagging, Dole themselves. And I even made a LinkedIn profile. And I don't know if many people know this, but I made a General Dole has a LinkedIn profile. So I kid you not, I'm connected with some of these guys at Theta. I think they think I work there. And they're just so in the early stages, I think people thought that I was a worker. Like I haven't really gone in there, and I couldn't tell you the names, but there are some heavy hitters, and not too many of them. But it was pretty funny. I was laughing, as some of these guys. I think Wes and some other guys connected with me. But
so it sounds like you're really having a good time with it, huh?
Oh, I mean, that's all it is, man. It's making friendships having fun, building camaraderie. And, it also takes weird turns because not every call is good. And sometimes there's some downside. I've had, and I'm not going to call anyone out, but I've had some people reach out to me just for advice and, like, hey, I'm feeling down and this and that. And, you seem to have whatever it is, they saw something, and I'm grateful that they reached out because I'm not going to say if it's a girl or a guy because that, it doesn't matter, but someone was down and I brought their spirits back up, and they've communicated with me to say, things are great now, or things are better and we're moving in better directions. And we all have our bad moments in life and feeling not self-worth. And outside of the Pines or Theta, and you might see this in some of the tweets, but I try to make it the best day. We all woke up. There's some people that never got this chance this morning, and things are really bad. So as bad as a Pine price or a frog price or a crypto or a psycho price could be, like if the Theta price goes down, you know what? Who cares? It'll go up, go down, whoop-de-doo. But our health and our livelihood, we're only on this planet for so long. So just make it the best you can for yourself, your family, and others. And that's what I try to do. And I'm grateful that I was able to put some positive vibes into this person's world. So to me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's, it's not always an easy thing to do either. When someone's reaching out to you like that, I've had that experience as well. Because, a lot of times it's like they're coming up with what to say is not so easy. It's just nice to be there for somebody as well. And, I do feel like the Theta NFT community as a whole is that kind of a community where, I feel camaraderie with so many people that I've never met these people, but it's just like, we have this friendship and camaraderie through these projects. And it's really amazing. It's basically the opposite of my Twitter experience prior to to being Sheriff Popper.
Absolutely. And I'm probably dumb and naive, but sometimes you get feelings and, hey, what's up, baby? But like, you can read people and who's good and who's bad. And I had a Pine that reached, like, what messaged me is like, dude, can I borrow, like, I'm not going to call this person out, but can I borrow $1,000 worth of T fuel? I'll pay you back tomorrow. There's something I need to get. And this is someone that he sees me on Twitter. I'm like, I really don't know him from a hole in the wall. And I'm like, yeah, I got you, man. And I sent it to him. He got his thing. He's like, thanks, dude. You filled out my collection. And he hooked me back. And he's like, oh, I'll give you $100 more. I'm like, you really don't have to, but he did. And that's just the way it goes. And I met a gentleman that I became friends with in King Combat, who he was involved in quite a bit. And he turned a different direction in his collection, but he still holds his stuff. And we became really friendly, and there was a time that I wanted to get an NFT outside in the ETH world, which he's big into, and same thing. It was like, dude, there's this freaking thing I need to get, but I need one ETH. Within seconds, he sent it over, and once my ETH cleared, sent it right back. So it's you scrub each other's back, but you obviously have to pick the people that you trust. And then you got like the guys out there, Chef Pine, like, what, he's killing it, like making badass meals, and people are going to see him, and this is supporting each other. It's just really cool. This upcoming week, 3rd, I think it is, Will, I forgot his last name, but he lives in San Antonio, and Roto-Rooter's coming to town. And him and we chat from time to time. Really good dude. And I'm going to go out there and meet up with him next on the 3rd, grab a beer and watch Roto-Rooter and any other Pines that come out. We'd love to shake hands. There's some guys in Houston that we've been looking to do something at a country club, and we just have to find the time to do like a little get-togethers. And you do, everyone can do what they want to do. You don't have to do it, but if you're into that stuff and want to make friends elsewhere, I think it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah,
cool.
It sounds the community is just on a whole other level. It's like there's regular crypto communities, and then it's like almost like a family type thing with the people you develop relationships with and trust. That's been that your experience. I've experienced similar things like that. That sounds really cool.
Cool. So I was actually looking at some of your Pines earlier today, and I can't help but notice that you got a lot of Army dudes in there. What's
I
is there a
do.
story behind that?
Well, no. so really, I got to the General Dole, dude, and I mean, it's obviously all about pro USA, and it's where I live, and support our country and the people that fight for our freedom, because freedom isn't free. And I have family that's military, but I just wanted to support that vibe, and then I saw this hockey one. I'm like, I'm a hockey player, and then I bought the hockey one. I'm like, all right, we're on to something here. Then I bought this one. And so I just kind of made it the SPS Army, as I was hashtagging it back in the day.
Yep.
Building my army. And I think it's a fun, I mean, James Robot did a great job incorporating his world and into the lives of that. And I wanted to take part of that. And, it's just like Chef has his chef thing, and you can go in these kind of, and that's the beauty with pines. There are so many different emotions, and you see a pine, and they might wear the same hat, but they have different things going on, and it's very, you can relate to. You could be in the army, you could be a hockey player, you could be just a weird freaking crazy-eyed poker player, and you can. And I think Luke Skywalker was a professional poker player. If you didn't know that, do you know that?
Yes,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he has those Jedi mind forces. He just makes you lose. But the pines are so unique, and they just have so much character, and I think that's what people can be drawn to. So I just kind of collected that. I started to, and I kind of went outside of that world too. I'm like, what, I got to diversify a little bit, and but it was something that I grabbed to and had some fun with it, and then on Twitter, it's just really easy and fun to make stories, and in that first couple months when I was very Twitter happy, and sorry for killing some people with tweets blowing off left and right, but my downtime is like November to February, and which was I had the storm for the pineapples. So for me, I'm like, all right, I have no pools going on. I don't want to, do these chores for my wife in the house. I'm like, so I just get lost on Twitter. All of a sudden the day's gone, and it's fun.
General, can I just bring up real quick for some would say viewers, others would say listeners, others would just say downloaders. You mentioned the General Dole pine now, so I didn't really get big into the pines until mid to late February when I got Magnum. Yep. So by then, as people know you now, you have this custom General Dole, but this other General Dole, it's cool. He's got a samurai sword and he's got an army helmet. I don't know if he had a vet torso or
I think it was the white
torso.
Shirt, so it's the vet. Yeah, it was the vet. And so what drew me to that, the samurai swords are very rare. And then really we owe many thanks to people call them matchsticks, I guess. But when he came out with that rarity chart, that the first one.
Oh, the site. Yep.
Yeah, that just made us almost like, oh, this is legit, and it really gave someone an idea of what they had, because there's, as some pines like, oh my god, a custom got sold for $1,200. Like, how's that possible? You don't know what you don't know, but you also
James Bond.
Sure, yeah. But you don't sell what you don't know just the same. Like, unless you're happy with your, you 5X, that's cool, but that's good. You got to look forward. Yeah, I mean, you don't go broke making profits, they say. So good, not a bad sale.
Well, and hopefully the individual that sold that bond for 5X, hopefully they never got back into it and they never looked back.
Yeah, maybe they don't know. Yep.
I would feel better for them if they didn't.
I know,
100%.
But you live and learn, and that's how you go about. But yeah, so when I got my hockey pine.
Now, is this Wayne Pine Gretzky?
Yeah. So that's him.
Wolvie might get upset if you didn't mention Wayne Pine Gretzky.
Wayne Pine Gretzky. Yeah, I made a couple different Twitter handles for some of the guys, and I did that so I can literally just, go to the NHL dudes and just go to the, Rangers, this, that, Blackhawks, NHL, Stanley Cup. And I would always kind of go in there like, hey, I heard you're looking for a third line or first line center. What about me? Like stuff like that. I'll just do stupid shit. But through my, just chatter with general, just real communication, because I communicated to James before it came to Theta. So, but it wasn't like a friendship where I pick up a phone and talk to him. I don't have that. It wasn't like that. It was more of on the messaging side. We just we hit it off and had good conversation just about family, about, hey, stuff like that. It was just like we're chatting right now. And what it was, I'm like, dude, I need to make the, I asked him, I said, would you be offended if I knocked out a tooth tooth for my Gretzky pine. And he's like, well, I can't do it because it's already out, but go ahead, it's yours. You do what you want to it, type of thing. And I never did. And for one, I never asked and never expected in a million years for that. What he did is to end up in my. One night he texted or on the message on Twitter, and he's like, look in your inbox, and I'm like, what's this? He's like, take a look, and literally, I got a story for you on that one, and I don't know if I should go into that. I guess I'm gonna have to. So, yeah. I mean, I keep laughing at myself already, but I'll get to that one. So I knew, so he was like, open it when you're ready. And I did, and I recorded it, and King Combat was live on there with me, and he was like, oh shit. And he made it personal. So for many that don't know, I still play men's hockey, but right before I got married, 2 months before I got married, I got hit in the mouth with a puck, and I got a tooth knocked out. And that was the same tooth I had knocked out while I was playing. And so that's why General Dole is missing a tooth. So it's very personal.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
cool, right? So he hooked it up. And that's something that will be, I say this now, but that will be the last pine that I let go, unless there's something that's crazy in my life where I need to get rid of all my pines, where if it's for family, if it's health, if it's to keep, whatever, right? You don't know where life gives you curveballs. And as I see people selling custom pines, a knee-jerk reaction is like, you were just gifted that, but you don't know what people are going through. So, I personally, I'm going to hold that until the ship goes down, but that's my last pine, type of thing. So it's very personal to me. And, but every pine has its price, and it is, we're here in Theta world. We're here to watch Theta explode and one day maybe, have a better life for ourselves. So I had an edible. Do you want to go down this road or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Go ahead.
All right. So I a long day at work, and I just need to chill out, to relax. I have a customer who gave me, they have in Texas here, they have CBD places and shit like that. And they're like, hey, Russ, we got this stuff here. You want to try it out? I'm like, yeah, I smoke just to kind of chill out at night and just to kind of, just kind of ease it in. Just go to sleep, and but yeah, I'll try it. And this little skinny girl, his wife, said, "Oh, just take half." And I'm like, take half? I eat the whole thing. I buy these at the store, and it's a Delta 8. Like, how bad can it be? So I take the whole thing, and I had a customer literally. And no, I didn't eat all day. I was literally working my butt off. I didn't eat all day, and not realizing edibles play with how much food you have or sugar levels and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm sitting there. My wife's talking. My daughter came home from college. She's coming down, talking to my wife. And mind you, now, not to get on the somber side, as some of y'all know, my father passed this year, and actually August 8th is his 1 year of his going to the other place. And so that was on my mind because my father had multiple heart attacks. So anyway, this gummies just kicked in, fucking full force. I'm tripping balls. I'm like, holy shit, I feel my heartbeat. And then I had a bad day with a customer, so I was on edge. That's why I'm like, I'm taking this whole thing. And then my daughter's talking to my wife. I was like, oh my, I'm fucking floating out of my body. I think I'm dying. And then I started thinking, my father, shit. I'll try not to. But my friend of mine had the same experience. He ate a brownie. He was like, oh, I don't feel nothing. Ate another one. He ate the whole freaking thing, and he totally spazzed out, and he called the cops on himself because he thought he was dying. So now I'm relating to my buddy Darren, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, but I think maybe I am dying. And so I go to my wife. I'm like, I think we need to talk. And she's like, what's up? And I said, I think I'm dying. She's like, no, you're not dying. You're fucking stoned off your ass. I'm like, no, I think I'm dying. I can see down. I'm looking down at you guys talk. And I stand up and I'm walking around the room. And I say to her, I'm like, I can't even see my NFT that I just got. I'm not even going to see this open canister. Because it was sitting there. It just came through my text. And James was like, hey, take a look in your Theta wallet. I'm like, James, and I'm typing James. I'm half dead in my mind. I'm like, James, I'll take a look at it tomorrow. I really appreciate this. And I was like, and I didn't open it right away because I thought I was dying first off, but I was so upset. I'm like, holy shit, I can't even see this thing. And, and then you start thinking the worst, but I'm not dead, you know. So long story short, read what you're taking. It was a Delta 9, and it was like 50 milligrams, so it was double what I normally would have eaten, and multiply stronger. So if that's a word. So gummies are not my friend anymore.
You hate to hear it.
No, but hey, but you know what? If anyone listens out here that goes that and does stuff, you know that your sugar levels, if you start getting the creepies, call a friend and have someone talk you down. My wife was not a good wingman. Meg, just can you just hold me? Jesus Christ, Russ, get in the bed. You're fine. I'm like, no, come down and hold me. For fuck's sake, just get in the bed. I'm like, holy shit. Like if I'm really dying, that sucks. Like I'm going to have like a really shitty last experience because she doesn't have my back, apparently. The dogs came to me. They knew what was up. So yeah, but if you do get the creepies, just eat some sugar, some stuff to get your insulin levels back together. And to me, I just didn't eat enough apparently, so it hit me hard.
It's a cautionary tale, and if you could, prevent this,
you never know.
And at least one person,
exactly.
This is well worth it.
You never know. Yeah, that was my the day that I got my the Dole canister. That was what was going on behind the scenes. So yeah,
Oh, that's
still
great.
here. So Operation Pine. So that is an effort that came from many. So it was not me. I'm not going to say, oh, it was all my idea. Operation Pine, I'm trying to go back in time now. There were a handful of people, and Sheriff, I think you might have been involved in that too. We're just in a tweet. It was just a bunch of us just kicking ass on Twitter, right? Just going, having some fun with it. And we had a few of the players that were heavily involved, and some of them that were big holders or had some big customs, or people that were just big ballers spending real money on these things, not opening up a $200 canister. A behind the scenes team was kind of formed to try to help. Let's promote this. It was everything that we did was in the good of Theta, in the good of Pines. Because for me, I tried to support every project up until a certain point when I realized I couldn't. Like I had every psycho card. I bought shit ton of frogs. I chatted with Joey and bought some of Joey's stuff, and we had some good ideas to collaborate on some things that just never matured, and it still could, but it would just never got down that road. So Operation Pines, I know Earp was big into it. So Earp had a monster influence on some stuff. I think he even drafted Glitch Lou, aka drafted the letter. We'll call it the letter that was put out. There was a Twitter or tweet I put out from my showroom, and I had the Pines in the background, and people were like, dude, that's the best. And I said, oh, I'm at the Pine, the SPS Army headquarters, and just had some fun with it. And he's like, dude, you got to go back there. And so he crafted this letter, sent it over. I printed it out. I went to the store, got a pineapple, put it on there. And those were all, I want to say, Glitch Lou's words. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that, but but he was a big influence on this. He is a huge, just a personality a very positive one. But there was a bunch of us that we had goals and missions. Okay, you're going to tweet this, and we're all going to retweet the same thing. From Zillionaire, who has the Snoop Dogg one. Alf was doing his stuff, and Will. Both Wills, Big Will, Little Will, or Will A, Will B, Will 1, 2, whatever, which way you want to go. But there was a team in place that was just, we were King Combat. We were just pushing this out, and that's how the Operation Pine came. And I think we did it for a week because we didn't want to overkill it, but it was successful. And then part of the mission was raise the floor. Let's raise this floor. And we were just trying to do everything good for the vibe of the Pines. And to tell you what, the value, the floor price absolutely, took a good run. And I think it was holding pretty steady until, and then, things kind of crumble a little bit here and there. And then that Pine Sweeper came in. Remember that Pine Sweeper dude?
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell is that guy?
Or girl, we don't know.
Guy or a girl, right? It could be a girl.
They were definitely trolling us because I think us, the community, not, me specifically, but all of us said, I think we referred to them as like the Pines. Is that what happened?
We did. And then they made that fucking upside down pine with a witch broom on it.
Yes.
Love it. Incredible.
And then, and that was before the SPS challenges came out. And so the Pine Sweeper basically didn't care what was on the floor. The Pine Sweeper just grabbed everything on the floor.
Good
and
for
it
them.
was funny when the Pine, so it was like a 2-night or 3-night thing when the Pine Sweeper, because the Pine Sweeper's been very quiet lately. I don't know if that's strategic.
Don't know.
The funny thing was, we were going back and forth with Will One. Will One was trying to sweep the floor that night.
I know. He said that to me. He was like, dude, I woke up and the floor is like, I need to get 15 of them. I'm like, only 15? Oh, what you do? Like, come on, buddy. Like, but he was ready to go nuts. And then he's like, yeah. And he's like, I got fucking drunk and I passed out. I woke up with a hangover to see the floor raised. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I think he thought he did it while he was drunk. But he realized he had to check his account.
Before we get too far ahead, I just want to say Theta Zilla Club was a huge part of Operation Pine as well.
Yes,
you had all those guys making the memes in the background, and
absolutely.
just, you know.
I'm sure there's plenty. I didn't
there's
say,
there's others too, for sure. Yeah,
rattle them off.
I didn't know we were trying to remember.
I didn't prep for this call. You know that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Erp, Alf, Theta Zilla Club. We're 3 of the big meme makers. There's definitely another.
I know another
couple
one
that I can't remember off the top of my head. I know, King Combat was certainly meme making.
Killing it.
You were meme making.
Nathan in Hawaii. I forgot his freaking name now. Nathan was a monster on the. So Nathan was the first to do the GIFs with the animated, and it was like, how the fuck did you do this? And then he's like, all right, I'll tell you, but don't spill the secret sauce. And so what he told the people in the group, and that's when it started going nuts on the GIFs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nathan was a part of that too.
Yeah, I remember that week. It was just like my notifications, like I couldn't even open Twitter, and like it was just like blowing up in my face every time I opened it. It was just boom, and then there was no way to keep up with everything. It was hard to keep up with everything that was going on there. That was a blur of a week for sure. Back in mid-January, we're going back.
I think
ways here.
Wolfine was in on it too. I think, if I remember correctly. I know you guys did that.
Yeah.
That. By the way, great job on that. The Pine, whatever.
Pine Madness.
Yeah, that was fun times. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think that I need an apology from you, honestly.
Me?
Because
What did I do?
listen. You picked the right team. You went Team Popper, but you didn't bring Dole into it.
Well, I didn't know what the hell was going. No one explained to me what the hell.
That was my chance. You could have slaughtered Magnum for me.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Next time. Well, I didn't know you could. Honestly, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just, I'm in. And
nobody did.
Yeah.
We didn't either. I certainly didn't.
And in general, because I was kind of new on this scene then, and I might have mentioned this before, but so I was like, oh man, I'm way over my head because Sheriff's been established, for a while, and I was like. I reached out to you and you're like, sorry, man, New York connections, I've known him for a bit. So, I like you and all, but I'm going with Sheriff, and I've got that from a couple other people too. So I was
that's what makes it fun, right?
You got the masses.
Yeah.
You got the masses over there
I played
with your pretty smile. Yeah. Popper don't got that pretty smile.
Well, yeah, you got that Ferrari you were driving around. And you got that chick you picked up on the road. How's Sally looking these days? Please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about
Smoking the Bandit? Oh, I got the wrong fucking guy. You got the other guy. You got Mag. I'm an idiot. So, and I haven't taken any gummies tonight or anything. I just came from work, and they look alike. They drive crazy cars in the '80s, and the Bandit would be cool. We don't have a Bandit, do we? We Smoking the Bandit?
No,
I don't think so. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, and then if they did, the Sheriff, that would be fucking badass. From Smoking the Bandit. When I get home, I'm gonna punch your mom in the mouth. That movie's great. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and things might be on a lull now, but the community's strong, and I wish I had the time to get in there every day, and it feels like it's like riding a bike. Like I could jump in and still have that fun, but at some nights I'm sitting here, I'm like, I miss that camaraderie. I will say it was definitely affecting my marriage. She's like, dude, you got to put that phone down. Like, like if you want me making these rogue weird calls in the middle of the night, like I need, like, can you just put the phone down and maybe pick me up for a little bit? I'm like, So it's very habitual, and it's hard to put that down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great thing you're doing in and out, but I really appreciate when you do come up because it makes it that much more special because you've been so busy outside of Twitter lately. So,
yeah, and I'm not disappearing for any reason other than working like crazy. Like right now, I should be designing a pool, and I also have a hockey game. So I'm like, fuck, I'm canceling. I'm not playing hockey tonight because I'm going on a cruise tomorrow. So I know with my luck, I would get hit in the mouth or something happen, and then I ruined the vacation. It's our 23rd anniversary, my wife and I. So we're
Congratulations.
yeah, and going out. So I'm an older NFT collector, as you can tell by the 23 years of marriage. Young at heart, I still feel like I'm in my 30s. Still act like it for sure, and still play hockey with these young kids. So I'm still scrapping it up. Sometimes I don't like dropping the mitts, but we got to do what we got to do. But anyway, the long story short, that's the beauty of NFTs. People from all ages can to jump in, and someone's like, dude, you're from the 80s. I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, I remember listening to like the record players, and just different stages of life. But to me, the NFTs, it's like I relate because I collected baseball cards. There's probably so many people that collected baseball cards and NFTs because they understand, like, oh, all right, this guy's a all-star. This guy, he's a nobody. He's so the values are different, and the beauty is now you can't jack one up, and then into immense its worth. I kind of wonder, like, and I don't know if you guys think this when you're buying one. So I'll look at a pine and I'm like, so Popper, I wanted that pine that you snagged from me a couple months ago. I'm like, so I'm like, and I text you like, Dag, you just bought that right from under me. But anyway, now I look at that pine and we don't have to say which one it is, but I'm like thinking, okay, it's had 6 owners or 5 owners. It's been around the block. Like, maybe it's not as sexy as I thought. So, I wonder if people perceive how many times it's been sold to how, hey, you know what, this is not going to be as valuable because people keep flipping it. Like, I don't know, do other people think that way? I sometimes I think that way, but I think you can make it any which way you think in your mind, right?
You like the ones that haven't had a sale.
Well, they're like virgins, They're like,
right.
Okay, this one has only seen one person before in its life, and yeah, I'm curious. Obviously it doesn't. Pine it has its rarity, but I wonder if other people think like that because I think beyond the pine and what it is, and I say, oh man, this guy, it's cool looking, but people seem to dump this guy,
I personally have never really made a judgment call based on that. I don't know if people
Now
would.
you're going to think about it.
Interesting thought. Yeah. I got to go check my pines and see which one's been owned a lot.
And I sold a couple things and wanted to reinvest. And there was one, I got a lot of cash. So I need to get my damn status so I can get T-Fuel only, or at least go that route. But I had some cash and I'm like, man, I want to buy this. There's one out there right now I want to buy. I think it's like $1,500, and it's a shotgun out there with the pineapple.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm all over it, but he doesn't accept cash. I'm like, fuck, I don't have enough T-Fuel. So like, fuck it, I can't get it. You know what? I'm gonna buy a pine while we're on the phone right now. I'm going to. Has anyone done that with you guys yet?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna go to my mobile phone, and do people call it mobile phones or cell phones?
Mobile? Is that what you do, Sheriff?
Well, mobiles and but let me see what I got here. I'm going to Theta Drop. Keep talking because I'm going to see what we got out here. Do I go military or do I go just whatever? Do I use cash or do I use T-Fuel? What do you guys tell me? Because I have cash and I have some T-Fuel. I was trying to hoard my T-Fuel, but I don't want to be that guy. But
I mean, you do seem to be cornering the market here on these Army guys.
All right, then I'll keep going. Let me see what I got here. All right, I just logged in. You told me if I do go on to Theta Drop, don't drop my call with you guys. I'm gonna get this dude here. I actually been eyeing him for a couple weeks, and tonight I will bring him into the Army. He is a vet, very colorful boxer, and he happens to be an 888. So I will hit purchase. I'm going to use my T fuel, and I don't know who this guy is, but he's going to get some T fuel right now. So it is 10:35 Eastern. If you hit your for sale or recently sold items, you could see the one I just bought.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. I have another boxer, so I can get those guys sparring. I have a spaceman boxer, and now I have an Army boxer. What is can you open the best pull that you've done?
Oh, Popper.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if you pulled him or what.
Yeah, I pulled Popper, and then
you pulled two customs.
I pulled two customs. I pulled Popper, and I pulled a Shaolin.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
you, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, I'll let you guys talk now.
Oh, I don't have anything cool like that, but shoot.
I had. Can I go now?
Go
Is
for
that
it.
all right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I usually pull floors 90% of the time, but I 3 because 2 of them kind of flipped. I got a prisoner with a shoulder laser that's really a tri-beam laser, and I got the number 1 torso Bruce Lee, Bruce King, or King Lee, as he could be known. But then I got the he's the number 8th non-custom. He's ranked number 9. The
Yoda.
Yoda, yeah.
Yep. I have a Yoda too, man. I think we're brothers. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Oh, you got a good ranked Yoda too, don't you?
I do, and I don't know what his rank is. If you you have a way to look?
Yeah, he's ranked 6, so he's the 5th not ranked non-custom.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I bought that for a pretty penny. So the good thing is I love him, and I'm gonna hold him. So, and the thing is, I can see why people sell stuff lower, because if you can get that T fuel back, that's you gotta look at it based on T fuel. So. And as what's weird is as I'm buying now or selling, I always equate to 30 to 32 cents. Like, what would this be at 30 to 30? And maybe I'm stupid like that, but that's how I really see. Okay, back then, would this have sold for X? And that's how I kind of look at shit.
Yeah, and
this boxer I just bought. Like, I don't care. I just wanted to have fun on the show and do that stuff. And you know what? He looks pretty cool in my lineup here, so that's cool.
That's a first. I love it.
I think that you need to make that mandatory that someone has to sweep the floor. You're on the show. You got to sweep the floor.
I love it.
Idea. About the community.
So I got one other question that's been bothering me regarding you that hopefully you can answer, because I've looked a couple months ago, whenever it was, I was like, man, I haven't heard from General in a while. I know he's busy, because you'll occasionally post a video or a picture or something. That you're working.
I'm trying to do that more. I'm trying to balance. Right. I OD'd on Twitter. Right. I had to go into rehab, and I literally had to walk away from all social media just because it was consuming me, and I was so busy with work. I didn't want negativity. Because sometimes you see some stuff out there, and I just don't have time for that fight. And the only way for me to do it was just put down everything, Discord, everything. So
no, that's a good move, and it's I sometimes I say I need a break, and I go off for a couple minutes.
You got to go off for a week at least. But I went off for maybe a month and a half. But I'll pop in and out. But so I'm trying to balance. If you're an alcoholic, all right. Well, you shouldn't drink at all, I guess. But if you have, if you're driving, all right, maybe have 1 or 2. So like I'm trying to come in and out, and maybe come into Twitter twice a day, 3 times a day, here and there. And you guys have been such a big part of my Theta journey, and I did miss every second of not being in there, but I need to balance, and I think everyone should balance their family, their mental health, and in their work, their work, because without those 3, we don't have the Twitter, we don't have the means to go buy more and support what we love.
100%. So anyways,
shoot your question here.
Oh yeah, my question. So. A while ago you posted that you were going to get your General Dole made.
Yes.
And I think so what I was saying was I looked the past couple months or whenever, and I was like, I never saw a finished product. Has that been finished?
Do you work with this guy? Because here's the truth of the matter is, I owe this guy $100, and I don't have fucking Venmo or this app. It's so hard for me to put money in there, and that I got to go to the bank, and so whatever it is, I owe this guy $100, and I just got to. I'm the guy who found this guy, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, I said, dude, I will write you. I can Apple Pay you. Nope, I don't even know what it is. I think it's PayPal. I don't use PayPal, and I don't have my bank account set up to PayPal. I had a PayPal get hacked, and I'm like, I don't do PayPal. So I owe this dude $100, and I just gotta, I gotta pay him. So that's it.
Well, he's actually hired us for a collection agency service. So.
Nice. You fucking detectives. This was a setup. All right. I'll gladly sell him. I'll gladly send him my used gummies that I don't want anymore. I will give him. Yeah, I just got to get in. I got to get this PayPal thing going.
Hey, if you want to send me T-Fuel, I'll send him Venmo or PayPal or whatever he needs.
I would rather Venmo you the money. I don't want. Yeah. I love my T-Fuel. I don't want to get rid of it. Yeah. Still friendly with him?
I don't know. Oh no, we don't know the guy.
Oh, did you do? I just need to reach out to him and get it. I'm going a million miles an hour, and at the end of the day, that's the last thing that's on my mind. Straight up, I can't wait to see it. I hope he didn't throw it out.
Well, it was kind of such a. When you said that, when you showed what was going on and that, I was like, oh, this is super cool, and I can't wait to see it. But I never saw it, and it's like, well, what happened with this thing?
I totally forgot about it. Straight up.
And then $100. There's a little snag that's preventing you from.
No, it's not, I have the money. It's not about that. It's I just bought a freaking $350 pine that I just didn't know I was going to get this morning. But yeah. I just spent $6,500 on rent for my daughter in New York City for the summer, so it's not about the money. Yeah, dude, that was horrible. But you know what? She's having a great internship, and I was just told that she will probably be offered a job in Manhattan. So she'll be welcome back in January. She has one more year left in college, or one more semester, and January she could be back in New York City.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And she was going around to the NFT. There was an NFT thing going on in the city in late June. Yeah, and she was like, Dad. She was like, Dad, I have some other NFTs in the ETH space. And she's like, oh, that one you got, they're here. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I was like, I'll send you my pick if it gets you in, so, stuff like that.
Cool.
So, speaking of NFT gatherings, are you guys going into Florida in December for the ThetaCon?
We will both be there.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll see you there. We'll share a beer.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Yeah.
Look forward to that.
We are
looking
looking forward to
meet up with some pines out there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I have another free cruise, and I could parlay that trip into a cruise out of Cape Canaveral. So maybe I'll go to Bahamas first and then go to the ThetaCon, or who knows? We'll see. I go to the poker room in the casinos, and it's like going to the Atlantic City or Vegas. If you gamble a little bit, they invite you back because they want your money. And
right.
I'm like, shit, fuck, I keep going, and I'll just go on. So you'll know when I'm on a cruise, because I'll, like, tomorrow and the next couple of days, I can only sit so long while my wife reads a book. So I'll be on Twitter. So you'll be like, all right, he's back. and then I come back to work on Monday. So you'll see me pretty heavy. I'll share some drinks, and even if you go way back onto the General Dole stuff, if you go way back, you'll see my pineapple drink during that cruise on November 19th. I cheers to the back of the boat, and you see the boat going away. So, or whatever. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do.
And then I tweeted in Cancun to it was a pineapple daiquiri. I don't know what it was, some fruity drink, and copied Mitch, and I think Mitch kind of commented on something. It was in the early stages. Now he probably it's like, dude, these guys are killing me. What did I do?
These pineapples.
Oh, these fucking pineapples killing me. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Mitch is saying that about us, but I'm sure there's a few people that are saying that about Pop and Mags.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. All good in the hood.
Well, we might have stepped on some toes.
Yeah.
All in good
But
fun though. You know, we're
that
all
means
we're all
they're
here to
dancing.
support Data. We're all here to support Data Drop, and you know the creators on there. And anyone that's creating a legit project to me, you know, they're worth supporting. So
Yeah, and in the early stages, I connected with Rob, and he's super cool. I bought before, like I think just when his stuff started going, I found his website, and this is before you could get the comics through his airdrops. But I
yep.
bought some stuff from him early on, and I just want to support these guys where I can. And then I realized, like, dude, you gotta pick and choose the fights. So like, I try to get
Oh yeah.
stuff, and I admire them all. Sometimes I'm jealous and I want to be in, but like I have, my I'm just kind of, you can only do so much.
Yep.
And just think if like in the ETH world, there's new projects coming like 50 a day. Like you'd have to be crazy ass millionaire to support all the ETH projects. It's just not possible.
Yeah, and to me, it's just like the ETH playground is a lot more dangerous than the Theta playground. You know, it's like you don't know, like most of these Theta projects, you know exactly who the creators are.
Correct.
And with the ETH projects, a lot of times you don't. And it's like, it's just, I don't know. To me, I haven't really dabbled in ETH NFTs, but you just see too many horror stories
Yeah.
of, rug pulls and this and that, and it's just like,
I have
I'm
a
good. I'm good over here in my little playground with the
I
Theta
have
guys.
a bad experience, and I bought an Aussie crypto bat, and they were stop, dude, relax, dude. We're collecting pineapples. So what's the difference of a bat, right? But touche. No, but I'm a metalhead, and I'm like, and the project shot the shit, and it has some really good legs to it. Where here's what I liked, and it just didn't get. Maybe it did. I just stepped away from it for a little bit. But they had, if you owned an Aussie crypto bat, so let's just pretend you own a pine. There were 100 NFTs scattered around the world at various locations, but the only way to access it, you would have to own a bat, or in this case, a pine, in your Theta wallet. So when you went to scan it, it would recognize that you owned a pine, or in this case, the Theta bat, and then you would get the ultra rare bat that you can bite other projects. So their project, that bat, you could bite a Bored Ape, and then all of a sudden you get a mutant bat or a mutant this. So it had really cool things because it would interact with other projects. So it would be more or less like a pine getting stabbed with a cucumber by a psycho, and all of a sudden now you have a psycho pine. So there's ways that some of these ETH projects, they're really cool stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm a huge Avenged Sevenfold fan. I've supported their projects, so they have death bats, and I bought one, and some of these have utilities. So you could, if you have a certain custom one, you have free tickets for life. You have free meet and greets for life. Free merch for the next 3 years showing up to your doorstep, a golf outing with the lead singer of Avenged Sevenfold, or a guitar lessons from Zach, whatever it may be. They're doing some real cool utility, and they're doing meet and greets or early access entries. There's things that Theta can do, and I know with their partnerships with the tickets, and they rebranded that, but we're just on the beginning of what we can do in this NFT space.
Yeah, definitely.
But gentlemen, I could talk for hours. I appreciate you having me on. My computer's saying like, dude, you're gonna crash. Like, so, and I'm outside in the back. I have 5 dogs in my house.
Oh boy.
Yeah. If I go in there, it's a shit show, and I'm out in the back patio next to the fireplace, just chilling with my feet in the hot tub right now. So.
All right. Well, General Dole, we certainly appreciate you coming on and just shooting the breeze with us and getting to know you a little bit better. And it was a pleasure. And it's we hope that this busy season of yours, you get through it, and we look forward to a full-scale Twitter attack once you're back with time to spare.
Yeah, I will do my best. I went from my social media rehab. I learned sometimes less is more, and to go in moderation. So I don't think I will ever almost divorce my wife, be on Twitter too much. So I will take it in moderation. But I plan on not going on a vacation like I did for a couple months span.
Well, November of 21 to January of 22 will be a hard time to forget, for sure, in the Pine and Twitter world.
It was a special space in my Theta journey, and a lot of friendships were made, and I'm grateful for it. So I appreciate you having me on today, and look forward to meeting you both in person in Florida. And until the next time, my friends, on Twitter, or if you have me on again, love to, shoot the shit if, unless all your audience says, do not bring this guy back, and that's fine too. I'll go back in my hole.
I'm not sure anybody actually listens to this, so it's all good, man. We had a good time.
Oh yeah, we did have a great time. It don't matter.
That's that, and gentlemen, that's all that matters. As long as there's another person that likes it, then you're doing okay. So
awesome. Well, it's been real, man. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks again, and I'll catch you soon, and I'll send you some pictures from the boat tomorrow.
Enjoy your trip.
Awesome.
All right, take care, guys. Gentlemen, thank you.
All right,
take care.
Good night.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a very nicely worded compliment on Twitter @JustAddSpam. Pops and Mags is a Scumbag Hat production in association with Kyle's Hot